Hello, vinyl community. Chris Prophy, musically obsessed. What I want to talk about today is an underrated album, a rock album from 1989. And the album is Psycho Cafe by a band named Bang Tango. Now, I'm going to tell you why I feel that this album is underrated. So let me give you a little background first. Um, as I told you, the band's name is Bang Tango. They were kind of lumped into that whole hair metal scene, but they kind of came later in the progression. The album came out in 1989 on Mechanic Records, and this is what the actual vinyl looks like. And the members are, and I'm hoping I pronounce his name right, Joe Leste, vocals, Tig Kettler on drums, Mark Knight on guitar, Kyle on bass, and Kyle Stevens on guitar. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you have never listened to this album, the first thing you're going to notice is the sound of the bass. And the bass is very prominent in all the songs. So Kyle, I just love that name, Kyle. He is very, he's a huge part of the sound of this album. How would I describe Bang Tango? Well, if we were going to make up a genre for them, I would say funky goth hair metal. So I'm going to say that again. Funky goth hair metal. This album was led by the single Someone Like You that spent some time on the radio. Psycho Cafe ended up climbing to number 58 on the Billboard 200 back in 1989. So it did make some headway on the charts. And the song "Someone Like You" has appeared on a lot of various hair metal compilations and things like that. But I want to talk about the rest of the album. So it opens up with track 1 called "Attack of Life." And the first thing you're going to hear is it's just got a great groove to it. There's a bluesy guitar. And Joe's vocals on this song, he kind of goes, some songs he's doing like more of a screaming thing, and other songs he's doing, definitely more of a laid back sort of singing. On Attack of Life, he's definitely screaming. He's got a nice scream to those vocals. So it hits you right over the head with track 1. Track 2 is the big hit, "Someone Like You." You're right when you hear the beginning guitar lick. It's got that recognizable guitar intro. It reminds me a little bit of "Sweet Child of Mine." Like I said, that was a single off the album. It's got a great sing-along chorus, and the vocals on that track are less screaming and more singing. And I can see why they picked that as the single. It's just a great song. Track 3 called "Wrap My Wings." This song, I get a Doors vibe to it. It's got sort of a mellow verse to it. Like I said, I don't know if it's the melody or the arrangement, but I'm definitely getting a Doors vibe. It's got a very strong chorus, very sing-along. And what I think is unique about this song on the album is the guitar matches the vocal line in the chorus. So it's kind of neat. The vocal line, goes right along with what the guitar is doing in that song. Track 4, "Breaking Up a Heart of Stone." This is similar to the song "Wrap My Wings." It's got a mid-tempo verse, and then it's got another one of those strong sing-along choruses. Track 5, "Shotgun Man." Now, I get a big Guns N' Roses vibe on this song. It's funky, it's groovy. Joe's coming back with those screaming vocals. Really cool tune. And that's actually the last song on side 1. So it was it's kind of a cool way to end the first side of the album. Now we go into side 2, track 6, "Don't Stop Now." Another upbeat rocker. The chorus of this song, I was listening to it today, it reminds me of that band Faster Pussycat. And if you've never heard Faster Pussycat, they're just a great rock band. They're like the 80s version, actually not 80s because, the Rolling Stones were in the 80s as well. They're like hair metal's version of the Rolling Stones. So if you never listened to Faster Pussycat, definitely check them out. So this song, Don't Stop Now, reminds me of them. Track 7, Love Injection, another funky, groovy, just bass-led song. In this song, you can really hear the soul, the R&B influences, and the arrangement. Yeah, Bang Tango was bringing that R&B vibe, that soul vibe, that bass. Like I said, what was his name again? Kyle. How can I forget that? Kyle's bass, especially in the song Love Injection, just great. Track 8 is where Bang Tango loses me a little bit. It's a song called Just For You. It's the ballad of the album. Every album at this time had to have a ballad. It's acoustic guitar led. I really feel it's the weakest song in the album, and the main reason is because Joe, I want to say his name right, Joe Leste is definitely more of a rock singer. He's got great screaming vocals in those mid-tempo rocker tunes. He definitely can carry that. But when you bring it to the ballad, I just don't think his voice is strong enough to do more of like the sustained notes and more of those, like more of a pretty sort of vocal. And just the song in general is not really that strong. So I think it's probably the weak link on the album. Track 9, Do What You're Told. It starts off with a upbeat, funky bass line with Kyle. It's groovy. It's soulful. It's got another sing-along chorus. I tell you what, Bang Tango had a knack for writing sing-along choruses. It's just a great song. And then it ends with Sweet Little Razor. And this is another song that gives me a Guns N' Roses vibe. It's an upbeat rocker, a great way to end side 2 and end the album. I'm just showing you that. That's some pretty cool cover art. Excuse my cold. Bang Tango went on to make another album after this called Dancing on Coals in 1991. That was a great album as well. It sort of followed the same pattern and the same progression. They had that funky, soulful R&B vibe to their music. Joe Leste went on to form a band called Beautiful Creatures, which was like an updated version of Bang Tango. And they put out a couple good albums as well. So yeah, definitely Bang Tango. If you've only heard the song Someone Like You, I would definitely check this album out. It's definitely underrated. Bang Tango flew under the radar, but they have a lot of great songs. Like I said, a lot of great sing-along choruses, a lot of great funky bass lines. So give Psycho Cafe another listen, and tell me what you think. All right, enjoy your day.